Okay, so I'm going to assume you guys can see this. If not, somebody just unmute themselves and let me know, please. But first of all, I just wanted to quickly welcome you guys and also thank you for taking the time to hop on tonight to this call. And whatever your reason is for being here, whether it's because you are simply curious or because you have this burning desire in you to do something more with your life, I really hope that you find what you are looking for in these next 30 minutes or so. So this webinar is called The Business of Coaching, because even though we do have a ton of fun and we highlight a lot of that fun on social media, it's really important for you to realize that this is in fact a business and it has the power to transform every area of your life. So tonight, myself and two other leaders on our team, Marissa and Robin, we're going to share with you guys our stories, as well as what we actually do as coaches, how we earn an income. But what we really want you to all start thinking about is the potential that saying yes to this opportunity could have on your life. So why are we here? I think it's safe to say that every single coach who joins our team truly loves what we do, and part of that is being able to pay it forward. So someone told us about this opportunity and invited us to join a webinar similar to this, and now we get to share this with other women. So every month we love being able to bring in new coaches onto our team to mentor them and to help build their business. So you can rest assured that you are joining an incredibly supportive team and one who is going to mentor you and help you to build a successful business. So why are you here? We have women join our team for so many reasons. Some join because they simply want the discount on our amazing products. Some are looking for a supportive community and extra accountability for their own health and fitness. Some women are interested in working this business as a hobby to make some extra income here and there, or maybe you are wanting to create a part-time or full-time income with coaching. Whatever your reasons are, that's amazing, and we can help you achieve that, whatever it is. And I would also encourage you guys to dream big, though. And I hope that after you hear some of our stories, you will be really inspired to do exactly that. And it would also be really helpful if you guys just wanted to put in the chat thread, just like sort of what you, like why you're here, what you would love to see happen with this opportunity. Are you interested just more so in the discount? Are you interested in the extra accountability that it will give you for your own journey? Are you interested in making like sort of a hobby income or more of like a full-time or part-time income? Robin, you're up. Robin, you're muted.
Thank you, Megan, for being the best coach ever, always. Always has my back. Hello, everyone. I'm Robin, as I just said, muted. And I have been coaching now for about 2 years. So I'm just going to share a little bit about my story. I joined, this is how random it can be to meet us or anyone that's coaching. I met Megan through a friend of a friend on Facebook. And I was desperately in need to make some extra cash and to feel better. I was really not feeling great. And I don't know if anyone else is in that position right now, but I was not feeling great. So I met Megan and she introduced me to this amazing community, this world. It's amazing. And basically, I just love what it stands for. When you become a coach, you share your journey on social media, and as authentically and as real as possible, because what are we here for? We're here to make real connections. We're here to grow. And that's exactly what this community does for us, is we grow together. It's amazing. You also check in daily with your online boot camp. And so when I was introduced with Megan, she brought me into her community and I got to know everybody and everyone was so welcoming. And it was just it was just really amazing. It was really nice to actually meet a group of people that were really kind and actually wanted to see me grow as well. And kind of like go through everything and figure out what products you love. So Megan helped me do that as well. And the reason I keep saying Megan helped me is because she really did. And that's what we're here for, is to help each other. So I fell in love with the products through Beachbody, and honestly, like, it's just like become part of my daily routine. And this whole community has every day I wake up and I'm like, how can I make myself better? And how can I help others become their best selves? But basically, yeah, as a coach, you share and you really just fall in love with yourself again, is how I find it. Could you go to the next slide? Or okay, so what successful coaches do? Fall in love with the process, which is totally true. I definitely had, I think we all have pushback with ourselves to really commit to a journey and to commit to a better us. It's not the easy route, but it is the better route. So the best way to do it is become a successful coach. And what do? They fall in love with the process, the programs, the product, and they are committed. Like, being immersed as a coach, being a challenger is great, but if you immerse in yourself as a coach, you actually become extremely accountable, because you're trying to better yourself and showing others, right? So you have to show up for yourself and you have to show up for others. Commit to sharing your journey authentically on social media. I believe so highly in being real, and it is very challenging sometimes to show up as your authentic self, but it will pay off in the end. It is so important to just be you. Like that saying goes, just be you because everyone else is taken. It's so true. Like, just do what you want to do and you're going to find your people. Those people are going to totally be drawn to you. Which again, inviting people to join you on your journey. So most of the people that I ended up getting are people that, like, whatever I post, they're interested in it. They're wanting to learn about it, and they're wanting to grow themselves. So if you don't share, how are people going to know about it? Like, I'm sure you guys found all of us through social media. And helping 5 people get started each month on their health and wellness journey. That is super important. That way you can also qualify for trips, which is pretty cool. That is probably one of my biggest first goals, was like, I want to get the free trip, and I did. And I just pushed myself, and we're going on another one again this year and next year. So it's pretty cool. And the biggest thing is like sharing the coaching opportunity. Like, once you end up falling in love with it, you will want to just continue to share it over and over again. It's awesome. Go to the next slide. Okay, so a day in the life of a new coach. Basically, how I do my day in the life is I wake up every morning and I've got this big whiteboard on my wall, and that is my morning routine. I think pretty well most of the coaches have or are working on their morning routine. I pushed back on that again as well for the longest time, and then I was like, why am I irritable, or why am I cranky, or why am I not being my best self? Well, I didn't have a morning routine, and I learned how to have a morning routine with Beachbody and with this community. So sharing my morning routine, sharing different tips and tricks on my story, my fitness journey. I try to share if there's an issue that I want to talk about, or like some sort of that might have like a little bit of a negative impact. I always make sure that I have a solution or something positive that's going to come out of what I'm talking about, instead of me just, complaining on social media. I try to make sure that it's going to be a positive, educational, something that comes out of what my journey is. Because obviously it's not always going to be positive, but if you can spin it and, you end up just making your life positive because you're trying to inspire others. Sharing consistently to connect with others. That is also really important. Showing up every day for yourself. It just becomes a habit. Like, I personally wouldn't do it on my own. So having the girls on the Zoom calls and at my fingertips to be able to text, that's really, really important for me. I don't really love the gym, and I don't get that support there, right? So this was like the best alternative for me. Personal growth. Oh my gosh, I am really not a fan of personal development, but I knew that it was what was going to better myself, right? So lots of personal development, has changed my mindset completely. It's crazy. Personal development over and over again. I will repeat myself. It is amazing. And then recognizing success in other people. So you're going to have coaches under you. You're going to have challengers. Raise them up, praise them, because it makes them feel so good. And it makes you feel good too, that you're focusing on other people and you're focusing on helping other people. So honestly, I just absolutely love it. And that's why I keep showing up. It's been 2 years and it has changed me. As cliche as that is, it has changed me. And I feel like it's only going to keep growing and getting better. So I'm really happy with my choice to be a coach.
Awesome. Okay. Hey guys, I'm Marissa, and I'm just gonna continue here with how we're different. So I know, like most of us, when we're hanging out on social media and we're scrolling, it's very common to see people selling things. And, there's all these different, different companies out there that have reps and things, and they're using their social media to sell their product. And I really want to focus on how we're different from that, because it's not really about selling. It's much more about sharing your experience. And sorry, Jessica, do you mind muting your, I just can hear you. Sorry. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. And so it's really all about sharing our journey. And like, as Robin was saying, like, how coaching and these different solutions have helped and impacted us in our lives. So first of all, I want to talk about how, as a business, being a coach is actually different from other businesses. So if you were to open a gym, let's say, you would need a whole bunch of capital to start that process. You would need to rent your location. You would need to pay for the water and the heating and the equipment and the staff and the towels and the everything, right? There would be a huge upfront cost for that. Whereas in this business, there is no major upfront cost. The one small fee that you're spending is just on a fitness and nutrition solution for yourself. So it's really an investment in yourself. And then through that, you can share about it and help others get started with an equally low fee of enrollment. So it's not a huge outpouring of funds and time. The truth is that if you were opening a business in a physical location, you would have to be there, make sure the construction's going well, make sure the site is up to standards. There's so many things that you would have to consider. Whereas the cool thing about our business is that you really can do it from anywhere. So I was just sharing today in my stories on Instagram that, like, I had a really busy day, but I still was checking in with my challengers. I still was poking into my groups and seeing how people were doing. I was chatting with a few people who needed to change an order or replace something or switch a flavor of their shake. So all of those things I was able to do in my little pockets of time. Whereas if you were running like an on-the-ground physical business, that wouldn't be the case. You would have to be there. So huge savings of money, huge savings of time, in the sense that you can do it in little pockets. And, we don't have to sit there and create our fitness programs. If I was running a gym, I would have to build an entire fitness program, whereas that's been done for us by Beachbody. So we have these amazing solutions at our fingertips that we can hand off to everyone who joins us, and we don't have to spend hours and hours creating them and cultivating them. So it really is an amazing opportunity. And as it says here on the slide, it's not a quick fix solution. It really is designed to be a sustainable lifestyle. Like, when I think about, for myself personally, nutrition was always a really big struggle for me. And so learning about our nutrition programs over time, they have become, I've been a coach for almost 3 years now. It's 2.5 years. And they have become an integral part of my life. My whole lifestyle, my whole approach to food has completely changed thanks to our programs. And so it wasn't just like, oh, go on this diet, lose 20 pounds, and then I gain it back, 6 months later. I mean, I'm just newly postpartum, so I'm on a new leg of my journey, but I did lose 25 pounds following our fitness and nutrition programs from when I started in 2016 until I got pregnant. And I kept them off. Like, I was able to sustain that. So it's not a quick fix solution. The business also is not like just get rich quick. you're going to work, you're going to put in the time, you're going to over time build, you know, a really successful business, hopefully. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Okay, so there are the obvious perks of joining the business, like the fact that you get amazing accountability on your own health and fitness journey. The fact, as Robin was saying, that you get connected to a phenomenal community of women who are all really kind and really supportive, which for me too was also something novel in my life. I hadn't really experienced that in the past. But there are also lots of hidden perks. So, well, it does say a community of motivated and encouraging people who want to see you succeed. That's 100% true. I've never seen, like, I mean, I work as a teacher, a full-time teacher, and I do have supportive people at work. I'm very lucky, but it's not the same. Like, I feel that my coach really genuinely has my best interests, both personally and professionally, at heart. Whereas in most jobs, I don't know that that's always the case. So I feel like that's kind of a guarantee here. Like, you're guaranteed to have someone looking out for you and wanting to help you. So definitely the community of motivated and encouraging people is a huge hidden perk. Also, as Robin mentioned, these annual vacations. So I'm actually going on my first earned trip this year, because as a teacher, I wasn't able to take the time off last year to go on the trip, but I am going this year because I'm on mat leave. So, and I'm bringing my baby, and I'm super excited that I get to take myself and my husband and my baby to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, a place that I've never been, to stay at a beautiful resort. It's a 5-star resort. It's all inclusive. I'm super excited, and I've earned that. Like, that's really amazing. That does not happen from my teaching job for sure. So that's really cool. Also, the fact that Beachbody recognizes us every month or every couple of months for our success. So when we achieve certain levels of success in our business, we actually get free swag. I was just wearing the other day this awesome blue zip-up sweatshirt that I got, this hoodie that I love. It's so beautiful, and it was just so nice to receive it in the mail and to be rewarded for the hard work that I put in last year. So that's another sort of nice perk. Not that we do it for that, but it's definitely nice to be rewarded and to be acknowledged when you've achieved something. And then again, as was mentioned before, this incredible accountability in your own health and fitness journey. I was someone who used to go to fitness classes, group fitness, and I always said that the only way I would work out was if I was in a group setting with other people. And that was like a hard, fast belief that I had. And when I first started and I was told that it was going to be videos that I could do at home, I was like, I'm never going to do this. But I was not correct, because being part of our challenge groups and connecting with other women who were following the same program or another program, it inspired me to try things that were outside of my comfort zone. It inspired me to, as Robin mentioned, wake up early and have a morning routine. Coaching, especially like sharing my journey on social media, made me be like, ooh, I better get results from this program, because I'm sharing about this program that I'm doing, and I don't want to, I don't want to show that I didn't commit. Like, that would look really terrible, right? Who would want to join a coach who's not being consistent? And so our consistency is remarkable because of this accountability that comes from coaching. And then, as I mentioned earlier, not only do I have supportive mentors in this business, and we all do, but there's tons of training and coaching and opportunities to learn that are provided completely for free by our team. So, as a teacher, I live in Ontario in Canada, and as a teacher, I would have to pay to take a course to upgrade my teachables, to upgrade my training, to make me able to teach more things. And it's really expensive. It's like $500 to $700 a course. But in coaching, all that's provided free. So all of the training, all of the courses, all of the everything that you need is provided by your coach and your coach's coach, and you can, go to a lot of different people to get this training. So you certainly don't have to worry about that. And then the last thing that Robin also mentioned, which is a huge part of this, is the personal growth and development. I was never a big reader before. Ironic, because I'm a teacher, I know. But I just never really loved reading. And I realized that part of that was because of genre. And part of it was because I never had like a real purpose to reading outside of relaxation and if I was in school or part of a book club or something like that. But with personal development, I've gotten through so many books and I've learned so many amazing things about myself and about business. And there's so much opportunity for you to grow and develop as a person through coaching. I definitely feel that I have as well. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the common misconceptions. This is something that we all hear on a pretty regular basis, some of them more than others, but they're not accurate. So you'll see the ones on the screen. The first one, I'm not a salesperson, is a huge thing that I hear. And I think, as I mentioned before, because there are so many companies out there and businesses out there that you can run through social media where you do kind of have to be really salesy, I think people assume that that's what this is. But I really don't see coaching as salesperson. I see myself as a share person. That's really my job, is to share my journey, to share these amazing solutions that work wonders for me, that have helped me lose and keep off weight, that have helped me. I mean, I was active literally until the morning of the day I went into labor. So because of Beachbody and because of the programs and my ability to do it at home and do it at my own pace and follow a modifier, I literally was pregnant right up until, I was active right up until the minute I went into labor. And so I shared that journey, and I've heard from so many people about how I inspired them and I, reminded them that it's possible. And I'm not selling anything. I'm sharing my journey and I'm inspiring and affecting the people who come across my social media. So this is not a sales job. This is a shares job for sure. Is this a pyramid scheme? That's one that I don't hear too often, but it always kind of irks me when I do, because pyramid schemes are illegal, and Beachbody as a company has been around for over 20 years. So it's not possible that this is a pyramid scheme. It is not a pyramid scheme. This is a network marketing business where it's your job to network with other people in order to build your business, but not a pyramid scheme. Also, just in case you're not familiar with a pyramid scheme, that's where a person at the top is earning a tremendous amount of money and everyone under them is earning way, way, way less. And in our business structure, it is entirely possible for someone on your downline, like someone on my team could, and I think even has, earned more money than I've earned in a given month. So it's definitely not a pyramid scheme. It's not even that structure necessarily of income earning. Plus it's not illegal. I don't have the time. So that's a big one, because I feel like we are always so busy, and sometimes it can be overwhelming to think that you have to add something to your roster of all the things that you have to do. But as I mentioned before, this is the kind of business that can fit into the pockets of your day. So I'm a new mom. I have a 3-month-old baby. It's crazy. I don't often get an uninterrupted hour during my day, but I have continued to see success in the last 3 months. And that's because I just work in those little pockets, in those 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there, maybe an hour at another time after he goes to bed or when he's napping. And so it's not really a question of having the time. It's a question of making the time. I prioritize that over certain other things like cooking or cleaning. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I will choose to work my business in a pocket instead of, say, scrolling Instagram mindlessly for 20 minutes. I will instead, invite some people to join my group for 20 minutes. That's a productive use of my time, and it's because it's a priority for me. So not having the time is not really relevant. It's about making the time. Next one, but I'm not at my goal weight. That is I think it's kind of irrelevant to be at your goal weight. I don't know anyone who wants to work with a coach who seems perfect, who's kind of done their journey and is just, leading from the sidelines. Personally, I want to work with someone who is in the trenches with me, who's doing these programs and who's working towards their goal weight. Like, now that I'm postpartum and I have kind of a new journey that I'm going through, I'm connecting with so many women who are like, oh man, I'm in the exact same position as you. I want to do this with you. You look like you're doing such a great job. I want to join you. So it's not at all about being at your goal weight. It's more about being in the process and sharing your process. So being at your goal weight is not a requirement at all. Don't have the money. Again, like I said before, if you were going to start a business, any other kind of business, there would be a huge investment of capital right up front. And I've heard so many stories of people who have gone into bankruptcy because they just had to invest like hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a business, and then it wasn't successful. I mean, we're talking about, if you're in the US, like $160 is one of our common packages, and it gives you the full roster of nutrition, fitness, product that you need to get started. $160, like, I don't know about you guys, but when I was in university, I'd spent that at a night of, going out drinking with my friends, like, and I would go out for dinner now with another couple and easily spend $160. Or I'd go on Amazon and I would accidentally spend $160 buying things that I don't even really need. So, saying that you don't have the money, again, I think it comes down to priorities. It's not a huge investment to start this business. And the last one, I'm from a small town and I don't have a big social media following. I literally started my Instagram from scratch when I became a coach, because I had a personal Instagram and I didn't feel comfortable sharing all this on there. I knew that it wasn't my target market. They were people who I had been friends with, from other walks of life, and most of them saw me on Facebook, so they were getting my messages anyway. And so I started a brand new Instagram account with 0 followers, and I now have almost 3,500 followers. And it's taken me about 2 years to build that, but it doesn't matter, because I was successful when I had 200 followers. I was successful when I had 1,000 followers. You really just talk to people, talk to people on social media, and you'll build that following over time. And we also show you how to do that effectively so that it works for you. So not an issue also.
Okay, so now we are going to dive into some exciting things that I'm sure everybody is kind of anxiously awaiting to hear about: how we make money. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the compensation plan. So as you can see, there are more than a few ways to earn an income as a Team Beachbody coach. From day one, you can begin earning commission in this business. So for every product, package, program that you sell, you will earn anywhere from 25% to 40% commission. So you could build a pretty substantial income this way, but to really begin building consistent, life-changing income, you will need to begin growing a team. And this can happen as quickly as you would like. Some coaches, they start growing a team right away. Some coaches have no desire to ever grow a team, and others start slowly in the months to come in their coaching business. But we will work with you based on what your goals are, and we will be able to figure out for you when and if you should build a team based on what your goals are. So as you begin to grow a team, Beachbody pays you a weekly bonus called a team cycle bonus. And to keep things just as simple as possible on this call, the amount that you receive each week is based on how successful your team is doing. So you can start earning this weekly bonus as soon as you have even as little as 2 coaches on your team. Matching bonus is another type of weekly bonus that is paid to coaches who are actively growing their teams and who are helping their coaches to build a team. And then we have what's called a Star Diamond bonus. So this is a quarterly bonus which is paid out to all qualifying coaches in the network, and it can range anywhere from $800 all the way up to $43,000. And there are several of us coaches on this team who earn these bonuses every quarter, which is exactly why I told you in the beginning to start dreaming big. And I mean it. There is no cap to your income with Beachbody. You can literally make as much money as you want. You just have to be willing to work for it. Okay, so now we're going to dive into the more inspiring part of this call. So this is where we're all going to share a little bit about our personal stories. This has been my monthly income progression, and honestly, it still continues to blow my mind. When I first started coaching, I was pregnant with my 4th baby, and I was working almost full-time hours as a registered nurse, and my husband was actually in a completely different province working on the pipeline, and he would be gone for 3 months at a time, and then home for 4 weeks, and then gone for 3 months and home for 4 weeks. And we kind of did that for a couple of years, actually. So even though my life was insanely busy, here I was about to give birth to my 4th baby, working almost full time. I was so busy, but I was also really lonely. And I was lacking a lot of excitement and passion. And I looked into this business opportunity because I just felt like I wanted something more. fast forward a couple months and I had a new baby. I was on mat leave and I started to really think about what life would be like once I went back to work. I'm just going to meet some people. There's a Sarah on here that I just can't mute. I'm not able to mute you. Mute yourself. Oh, it might be good now. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so there I was with a new baby. I'm on mat leave, and all I could think about was after my maternity leave, going back to work. And while I absolutely love being a nurse, like I still love being a nurse, I was already at the top of the pay scale, yet we were living pretty much paycheck to paycheck. And the thought of working more hours in order to make more money, that really wasn't appealing. And I always wanted to have 4 kids, and here I was with these 4 kids, yet I was going to have to be away from them more than I was going to be at home with them, and daycare was going to be raising them while I was at work trying to make an income. Like, it just didn't seem fair. So I dove into this business, and I'm so grateful that somebody showed me that there was actually a different way to earn an income. So since then, I have more than replaced my nursing income, and now nursing is actually something that I get to do instead of something that I have to do. So I still work a few shifts a month, and honestly, I really do enjoy being a nurse, and I don't have any intentions of quitting my nursing career, but I love that I can do it and feel passionate about it and not feeling burnt out and overwhelmed from that. So I just plan on continue to grow my income, grow my team, and continue to keep helping as many people who want to join me so that I can help them create the lifestyle that they want to be living.
My turn. Okay. So as I mentioned before, I was working as a full-time teacher over the last 2.5 years as I have been growing this business. So I have been coaching in the pockets of time around my full-time teaching position. And I should also mention that in addition to teaching, I also was tutoring about 5 students a week. So every weekend I was tutoring for an hour or 2. And after school, most days I was tutoring as well. So my days were really, really full to begin with, but I did build this business. I have been building this business around that busy time. As I mentioned, now I'm on mat leave, so things are a little bit different, but still very busy days. If you guys have kids, you know what I mean. So when I first started, my situation was that I was overweight for my personal body type. I was always very athletic and fit growing up, and I had kind of reached a point in my life where my metabolism had slowed down. I was in my late 20s. I was still eating like I was a teenager. I didn't really understand nutrition, and though I was really active and I went to tons of classes, I wasn't seeing any results. And so I reached out to my coach about the products and programs first, and then I learned a little bit about coaching, and I very quickly saw that it would help me in terms of the accountability, and it would also help me in terms of some extra income, which at the time I was doing, fine with my teaching income. And I live in Toronto, so super expensive housing here. And I was living in a condo that I owned, but I had fairly high mortgage payments. And because I still had this habit of going to all these fitness classes and, I was living that single life, well, I guess I was in a relationship, but basically, enjoying myself, going out with friends. I just basically wanted some extra income. So that's really where I was at when I first started. And truthfully, the biggest thing I was nervous about was posting on my social media and having my friends kind of be annoyed that I was now sharing this fitness journey. Because even though fitness was always a huge part of my life, I never really talked about it before I became a coach. It was just something that I did for me. And I think part of that came from the fact that I never really saw results from it. Like, I was working out 7 days a week, pretty hard, but I wasn't losing weight, and I wasn't, like, in my opinion, in the best shape in the world. So that was something that I was really nervous about. But what I found is that over the last 2.5 years, I've had people who came from all different walks of my life who have come to me now and are now customers or coaches on my team. And they have joined me because they've been watching me be super consistent and have transformation after transformation as I do different programs and as I experience all the different products and programs that we have to offer. And so it's actually brought really, really amazing people back into my life. People who I had lost contact with, people who, I at one time had something in common with them, but, maybe in university or something, and then we moved on, and we sort of just lost touch, or we just had each other on Facebook. And so for me, it's actually been remarkable to see all these awesome people coming back into my life, and it's been super rewarding in that way. Now, I mentioned that I was working as a full-time teacher. I've taught elementary school for the last 8 years, but I'm also a very creative person. I grew up dancing, and I really love when my job gets to be creative. And what I found is that by teaching the same grades and the same subjects for the last few years, it's actually gotten a little bit boring and monotonous. And I'm starting to find that even though the children change, and so I do enjoy going to work from that perspective, I don't love teaching like a homeroom class. And so now that I'm on mat leave, I'm actually starting to shift the way I think about this business, and that maybe it won't just be a side business. And I actually had a meeting with our principal recently to start talking about maybe coming back part-time, because my income from coaching is starting to supplement my teaching income in a way where I actually could see myself going back part-time, maybe doing a slightly different kind of job than I was doing before, and continuing to work and grow my business during those days when I don't have to be at school. And also, as Megan mentioned, like putting my child in daycare at the age of 14 months is a highly unappealing idea for me. So if between my husband and we can manage not to do that by being home most days of the week, then that would be really ideal for me. And I really, really see coaching as my avenue to be able to do that. So that's where I'm at right now, and that's where I'm going with this business.
Unmute before I speak, huh? Okay, so this is my income progress. Like I said, I've been doing this for 2 years, and my situation was actually pretty crappy. I was in an abusive relationship living in the States, and I took charge and I came home and I was like, nope, this is not the way my story goes. I'm changing it. So I did. And basically I came home from South Carolina to Halifax, and I got 4 jobs. So I had 2 serving jobs, and I had my coaching job, and I am also a hairstylist. So I was doing the 4 jobs. I managed to, I don't know when I slept, to be honest. It was, it was quite a lot. So I'm sure there's other people out there who've got at least 2 jobs, 2 or 3 jobs maybe. So I really wanted the coaching income to take over the other 2 jobs. I still love hair, obviously, so I don't want to lose that completely, but I basically do coaching and hair half and half. What did I fear? I did fear about what people thought about my posting, just for a minute though. And then I realized that this is my story, and no one else's opinion matters, and no one else's, anything they have to say, it didn't matter, because are they living my life? No, I'm living my life. And what do I want? I want to coach, and I want to do my best. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, because I didn't quit, now my income pays for my mortgage, which is pretty cool. I can every week, I know that my payment's going to be covered. And I actually took 10 months off because I had a concussion. So I've had a couple things that have been pretty crappy, but I'm choosing to feel good. I'm choosing not to let those things stop me. I'm choosing to let them, great, I learned from this. Concussion taught me how to slow down. An abusive relationship taught me how to find my worth. So we've got to remember, as a coach, we turn all of our negative situations into positive situations. And when we can't, we look to our community for support. But yeah, so I started out, my first month was $586, and then last July I just passed $1,364, and it just keeps going up. Residual income is amazing. Your team will carry you through if you aren't there. As long as you decide to build leaders, not followers, right? We want a bunch of leaders. We want people to take charge of their lives and walk beside us doing this. So I would jump in both feet, because why not? Why would we say no to an opportunity that you could possibly completely fall in love with and change your life? You really could. Okay, so then Megan's just scrolling down. Here are a couple other of our coaches. We've got a mom of 4, full-time coach. Her progress is quite amazing. We've got Amy, former nanny, full-time Beachbody coach. This is our great-great-grandma coach. Well, my great-great-grandma coach. And Amy's had an amazing income progress. Today over $1.2 million earned as a coach. This is a real opportunity, people. This is for real. Then we've got Heather, who is a part-time coach. She has had an amazing income progress. So we're all different. We can't compare. No, you can't compare yourself. I love the analogy of apples and oranges. You know, they're not the same. We can't compare ourselves. They're both great, but you can't compare.
Okay, awesome. So something that I mentioned earlier when I was speaking is all about the training and team support that we offer that's totally included when you become a coach. So as I said, you know, if you were starting your own business in another field, you would have to be figuring it all out on your own. Every single step of the way, you would either need to search out your own mentors or just read books or go online, Google, whatever. But the amazing thing about our team and about becoming a coach on our team is that we actually offer a ton of embedded training, and there is literally 24/7 team support. So first of all, when you first start out, your coach will probably have a call with you, and they'll, you know, engage with you in a phone conversation or a Zoom or something like that, where you will get a chance to have one-on-one support. Also, your coach is always there for you to message, ask questions, etc. Some coaches set up new coach message pods. So if they have a bunch of coaches starting around the same time, they might sort of link people together as success partners. For myself, I do that with some of my coaches, and I'm also in the pod, so then I'm there to help answer questions as well. Something. I'm hearing something. Sorry.
I'm trying to find who it is. Can everybody just make sure
Sorry,
that's muted? Do you know who it is? Can you see on your end?
We're distracting.
Gosh, I don't. Oh, guys. Okay, there we go.
You got it. Amazing. Okay. So yeah, so the other thing that I was saying before about 24/7 support.
Oh, Robin, is it you? I'm not sure. Okay.
Okay, so we have a closed Facebook group for our team. And in that group, we offer 24/7 team support. So it's a place where you can post a question. You could reach out to it. Like if your upline coach isn't available at that moment, you could reach out to the team and someone else will answer your question. And it's really amazing because we have such a large team. Your questions get answered like super fast. So it's definitely, there's always constant support. Our company, Beachbody, offers a weekly national wake-up call, which happens on Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's an amazing opportunity to learn from some of the absolute top coaches in the company, some of the people who've been doing this for, 8, 9, 10 years, or people who are newer but who have seen amazing success quickly. And they offer free training to the entire network. So it's really amazing that we get that every single week from the company. In addition to that, we also run weekly team calls. Most teams are weekly, and it's an opportunity to hop on a Zoom, to see all your friends, to learn about a particular topic, and to connect and ask questions. And then there are two kind of areas of opportunity to, well, 3 really, to meet up in person. There are quarterly get-togethers that is organized with corporate, and those would be like local events. So like Toronto has one in Burlington that happens 4 times a year, and in your location, you could just look into where it's happening. You can connect with other coaches either on your team or from other teams. I know a coach on my team this year was in Miami on vacation, and she went to the one in Miami, and she ended up meeting all these other amazing coaches from other teams. She went alone and she was nervous, but she ended up having an awesome experience. And so those are really fun. And then yearly we have a summit event that is super, super fun. It's like this huge event where we get to go and learn, and we get to work out with super trainers, and it's really an amazing experience.
Okay, so why not you? Do you guys remember when you were younger and you envisioned what life would be like as an adult? I don't know about you, but I never really envisioned myself living paycheck to paycheck, fighting with my spouse about finances, having to say no to my kids, not being able to put them in everything that they want to do, or to be able to buy whatever it is that we wanted to buy. I did envision, though, myself traveling with my family, going away for weekends with my husband. I just envisioned like a life of ease and like tons of happiness and flexibility and freedom. That is what I pictured. But, then I became an adult, and the reality was that I was kind of living in that like struggle, that paycheck to paycheck, that like feeling like there wasn't enough, and a lack of freedom, and being tied to working a job that was only going to pay me more the more that I worked. So like I said, the only way that I was going to start making more income as a nurse was to work more hours. And you might be the exact same way in your current job. I could definitely increase my income by picking up more shifts, working more weekends, more holidays, more overtime, more nights. That was kind of my only opportunity to make more money. Or I could go back to school to maybe become like a nurse practitioner to increase my income. But that was sort of like my only options until I discovered coaching, and my eyes were like open wide on something very similar to what you guys are on right now. And I started to just see the actual potential and a whole different way of living. So what are the next steps? So after this webinar, make sure that you immediately reach out to the coach who added you into the group, who gave you the link for this webinar, and she will basically take it the next steps. But essentially, you're going to enroll as a coach with a package that is going to give you everything that you need for your own health and fitness. So that's what you're investing in. When you become a coach, the investment that you're making is actually for your personal health and wellness. So you will have access to all of the workouts that we have as coaches. You'll have access to meal plans, recipes, and you will also get, the products that we know and love as well. And then from there, you'll be added into some sort of an accountability that your coach runs. And that is where you will really start to dive into your own personal journey. Because as coaches, that will always be our number one priority, is to show up for ourselves and work on ourselves. And then from there, you're going to be welcomed into our team page. You're going to be put into some team training, little like group chats with other new coaches. And from there, we just really work with you one-on-one to achieve your goals, whatever those goals are. So we go at your pace. But the immediate next step is to really just reach out to the person who added you in here. And then we go from there. So questions. I'm going to stop my screen share, and you guys can go ahead and put any questions into the message thread, or if you're brave, you can unmute yourself. And if there aren't any questions, that is okay too. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for jumping on. And I hope that this really did, give you what you were looking for tonight, whatever that was. And reach out to your coach for any questions. And of course, for those next steps into getting started. Bye, guys.